Oh. Oh. Oh.
What is up, guys? My name's Pete.
Quality stream. And this is where you would normally category. So if you were doing like a tech podcast, you could do technology, or if you're just doing game streams, you can use gaming. And then you can also set the game that you are playing on your live stream. You also have your chat functionality future, and then you can go ahead and draw different areas so people can go back and watch your streams while they're still running live. You could set it to make the archive of the stream private so it doesn't automatically get uploaded to people's subscription feeds when it's over. You could set your monetization in here, or also add in different cards. YouTube added in this card system in the last year, so you can add things like links to external websites, like your Amazon affiliate code, donation pages, merchandise, stuff like that. All your cards you can add in here for whatever you want to plug during your streams. You can add your cards in there. The last thing in here you're going to really need to be concerned with is your stream key. Now, this is basically what tells OBS which channel the live stream is meant to be going here. Never tell anyone your stream key, otherwise people could stream directly to your channel whenever they want. So to get started with OBS, you're just going to go ahead and download the Open Broadcaster software, which you can get from OBS PSX free right now. No barrier of entry here for someone if they want to start streaming on YouTube. The only requirement is that you have a PC and an internet connection. Sources boxes down here will be completely blank. And those are the areas we're going to focus on here.
The Tempest is at your command.
Here initially, so your scene boxes will be blank, and this is basically like your profiles, whereas the sources are what you put into those profiles. So you can see
Gotcha, guys.
The 30 seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
Here I have different ones, or we could do my weekly live show right here, which does our 2 windows here for our webcam up here usually. But to get started, you're just going to come up here and click add scene, and then you can just add, we're just going to call it YouTube, if I can get the empty sources. So we have nothing added to this profile. So to get started, you're going to want to right click on sources here and then come to add, and you're going to have a bunch of options here like game capture, monitor capture, window capture, video capture device. That's your webcam. So to get started, we're going to click game capture. So this would basically add your gameplay into the live stream that people would be through this. We could just video capture Logitech C920, so it's listed there. And if you have a video capture device, and the add and video capture device, and if you have a webcam connected, then it should be listed up here. I'm using the Logitech C920, so it's listed there. And this I just leave at default. I don't mess with any of the settings in here, but if you wanted, you could set things like the opacity, or you can disable the audio device on the webcam itself. But since I'm using a dedicated microphone, I'm not going to be able to, going to need to use the webcam microphone, and I definitely suggest using a dedicated microphone since I'm using disabled default. I don't 20, so then it should device, and if you have a webcam for now. To add in your webcam, you would just right click and go to add and video capture device, and if you have a webcam connected, then it should be listed up here. I'm using the Logitech C920. So it's listed there, and opacity, or you can disable the audio device on the webcam itself. But since I'm using a dedicated, there, now we have our video capture device added in. Now this sources box works a lot like layers on Photoshop or any video editing software, where basically what's on top is what is actually shown on top in the video. So if you have your video capture device or your webcam on top of the gameplay, that means your webcam is going to be displayed over the gameplay that you're showing. So initially it's going to be full screen, so you're going to want to customize this, and you could do this by going to edit scene here, and you could see what you're actually showing by clicking the preview button. So if you just stop preview, you could preview stream, and then you'll see what's actually going to be showing here, and then click edit scene, and you'll have the ability to customize it. This red outline will show up over that portion of what you're editing. So this would be the webcam here, which would normally be showing, but since I'm recording on a second instance of OBS, it's kind of blank right now, but you could just take my word for it that this would be the webcam. So if you wanted to have your webcam top left the way that I'm doing right now, you could just grab it and drag it and put it wherever you want. If you want, you can move it to the top right. It'll snap to the corners. You can put it at the bottom right, bottom left, where middle would be the webcam. This would be the webcam will show up. You'll have what's actually going to be showing here, and then click edit scene, and you'll have the ability to customize it. This red outline will show up over that portion of what you're editing. So this would be the webcam here, which would normally, you'll have the ability to customize it. This red outline will show up over that portion of what you're editing. So this would be the webcam here, which would normally be showing, but since I'm recording on a second instance of OBS, it's kind of blank right now, but you can just take my word for it that this would be the webcam. So if you wanted to have your webcam top left the way that I'm doing right now, you could just grab it and drag it and put it where it's going to be. Capture Witcher 3 would then show up in this menu here as an option for you to select for your game capture. Now, I can't show you that right now, but you just have to take my word for it. If you do launch a game, Alt-Tab for you to, you would come up tab out of Witcher 3, and then you would come to Game Capture, right-click, and go to Properties, and then you would come up here and you would hit this drop-down, and then Witcher 3 would then show up in this menu here as an option for you to select for your game capture. Now, I can't show you that right now, but you just have to take my word for it. If you do launch a game, Alt-Tab, come here, and it will show up in this window. So basically, any game you launch, GTA 5, Witcher 3, Dota 2, it doesn't matter. Launch your game, Alt-Tab out, right-click Game Capture, go to Properties, and then select that game from the drop-down. It'll say it right here, like The Witcher 3, and you just click it, boom, hit OK, and then as soon as you open the window back up, Witcher 3 will be added to your live stream feed right here, and people will see that with your webcam overlaid on top of it. But that's going to do it for the scenes and sources. Now let's go ahead and move into some of my custom settings. So I've stopped the preview now, and we're going to go into settings here, and